In this video, we'll be looking at 6.2, solving equations using the multiplicative inverse. So our essential question today will be, how do I solve equations using the multiplicative inverse? Okay, so the way this is going to work is first I want to write our goal down again. Goal. Our goal is always to get the variable by itself. So we're always focusing on that side of the equation where the variable is, and we want to make sure that we get the variable all by itself, x equals, y equals, and we're done with that problem. So the first step we'll do is turn everything into fractions by writing in our hidden ones. We can put ones in front of the variable, we can put ones underneath our numbers. That way we have fractions everywhere. Everything's going to be fractions. And then step 2, multiply both sides by the reciprocal. That's where we flip that fraction and we multiply both sides by the reciprocal, multiplying fractions together now. And then our final step will be to divide for final answer. Okay, so we'll turn everything into fractions, multiply both sides by the reciprocal, and divide for our final answer. I know it looks like there's a lot of examples on this page, and I agree. So what we're going to do is just skip the last 6 and cross those 7 through 12 out, and we'll just do these first 6. Okay, so let's look at number 1. My first step is to turn everything into a fraction. So I'm going to write in my hidden ones. I got a hidden 1 in front of the t, and then I have a hidden 1 underneath my 6. So here's my fractions. So we'll draw our line down the middle. And the fraction that I'm trying to get rid of is the 1 over 8, right here. That's the one I want to get rid of so that t is all by itself. So to do that, I'll multiply both sides by 8 over 1. Whatever I do to one side, I do the same exact thing to the other side, so I'm going to multiply this side by 8 over 1. So what happens next is, we're going to do more writing on this one than most of them, so I'll end up with 8 over 8t is equal to 6 times 8 is 48 over 1 times 1 is 1. Multiply our numerators together, multiply our denominators together, and we get 48 over 1. Now we'll do our division, and I get 8 divided by 8 is 1, so I have 1t equals 48. And then we're really pretty much done with that problem. What we can think of is 1 times t is t, so we end up with t equals 48. Well, we don't have to write this middle line, we don't have to write all this in our middle line as much. So let me show you what I mean by that. So number 2, because what we're going to do is cross some stuff out. So I'll write in my hidden ones, 1 next to the x, negative 3 over 1. We'll put our line down the middle. Now our goal is to get rid of that 1 over negative 5. I have 1 over negative 5 right here. So to get rid of that, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 over 1 times negative 5 over 1. Now what happens is I can just cancel these out. See how we did the multiplication on this one? And we found that that's going to equal 1. What's always going to happen, so these will essentially cancel each other out. And now I just do my math, and I'll get x, that's the only thing that's left, x, bring down my equal sign, equals. Now I'm multiplying these fractions together. Negative 3 times negative 5 is 15, and then 1 times 1 is 1. We'll do our division, and we do 15 divided by 1 is 15. Okay, so let's do one more time like this, see if we can try it one more time. We'll write in our hidden ones. Got a 1 next to my x, a 1 underneath the 9. We'll draw our line down the middle. Now what reciprocal am I going to multiply both sides by? Well, it's the 1 over negative 9 I'm trying to get rid of. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 9 over 1. These will cancel out, and we'll have x equals. And now we're just multiplying our fractions together. 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. 1 times 1 is 1. We'll do our division, and negative 81 divided by 1 will be negative 81. That's how we solve that one. Okay, so let's look at the next 3. So when I have that coefficient right next to the x, we're going to do the same process. Write in our hidden ones, multiply by reciprocals. So let's try it. I'm going to write in my hidden ones, but now they're going to go underneath both of our values. And our goal is to get that x by itself. So we'll draw our line down the middle. So if I have 3 over 1 next to x, that means I'm going to multiply by 1 over 3. I'm going to flip that 3 over 1. And then I'm going to multiply the right-hand side by the same exact thing. And now we're multiplying our fractions together. But the same process, how we could cross stuff out, we can still do that on this. So I'm going to cross these out, and I'll get x equals, let me bring this up, x equals negative 21. Negative 21 times 1 is negative 21 over 3. Then we'll do our division. And negative 21 divided by 3 will be negative 7. So let's try the same process again. We'll write in our hidden ones. We're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. That's going to be, draw our line down the middle first. I'm trying to get the x by itself, so what reciprocal should I use for both sides? We'll flip the 2 over 1, so now it's 1 over 2, and I'll do the same to both sides. My fractions cancel on my left-hand side, and we'll have x equals, multiplying our numerators together, 24 times 1 is 24 over, and 1 times 2 is 2. Now we'll do our division to finish up the problem, and we'll have x equals 24 divided by 2 is 12. So I think we have enough examples to get through this, so we'll skip number 6 as well. Don't even worry about that one. We have 1 through 5. We have some solid examples to follow along with, and we have our steps from up above. So we write in our hidden ones, multiply both sides by the reciprocals so that we have our variable by itself, and then we'll divide to get our final answer. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.